We are at video number 0031, Overcoming Hurdles. Self effort alone is not always enough to overcome the many obstacles that arise on the spiritual path. Self effort alone is not always enough to overcome the many obstacles that arise on the spiritual path. Who among us would dare to cross vast charms, turbulent rivers, or sharp mountain ridges without the guidance or support of others? Just as passing clouds can hide the sun, the restless movements of the mind can obscure the light of our wisdom. No matter how hard we try, delusions and confusions born of the ego cannot be fully conquered by our own limited effort. The only sure way to rise above them is by surrendering ourselves completely to the divine, the Supreme Spirit, with deep faith and humility. We must guard against pride, for ego and self importance prevent the soul from bowing in true surrender before the infinite. The student is asking a question. I try so hard to stay steady in my practice. I try so hard to stay steady in my practice. I meditate, I study, I discipline myself. But still, I find my mind wandering, my faith shaking, my heart restless. Why do I fail even when I put in so much effort? The Guru replies, your question arises from sincerity, and that sincerity itself is divine grace working in you. Effort is indeed sacred, but remember, self effort alone cannot carry you across the ocean of life. Think of a man trying to cross a mighty river. His strength may take him part way. His strength may take him part way, but without a boat or guidance, the current will pull him under. The boat is faith, the guide is the divine, and the river is the restless wind. A student is asking another question. Then, is my effort useless? Should I simply surrender and do nothing? The Guru replies, no, your effort is not useless. It is essential, but effort must be offered, not owned. But effort must be offered, not owned. When you think, I alone will conquer my mind, I alone will reach God, I alone will conquer my mind, I alone will reach God, you are already trapped by the ego. The Gita teaches that effort becomes fruitful only when it is united with surrender. In chapter 18, Lord Krishna says, abandoning all duties, take refuge in me alone. I shall liberate you from all sins. Do not grieve. That is verse number 66 of chapter 18. This verse does not ask you to be lazy. It asks you to trust, work sincerely, but offer the fruits of your work to the divine. Student is asking another question. But why is surrender so difficult? I want to surrender, but something within me resists. The Guru replies, that something is the ego, the greatest illusion of all. The ego whispers, I am the doer. It feeds on pride and refuses to bow down. It feeds on pride and refuses to bow down. The Gita calls this ahamkar, ahankar or ahamkar, the false sense of self. It makes us believe we are independent, self sufficient, and separate from the divine. But the truth is, as Krishna tells Arjun, I am seated in the hearts of all beings. That is in Bhagavad Gītā, chapter 15, verse number 15. So, when you surrender, you do not lose yourself. You rediscover your true self. You're not a wave fighting the ocean, you are the ocean itself. A student is asking another question. Still, how can I surrender in a world filled with responsibilities and distractions? The Guru replies, surrender does not mean abandoning action, it means purifying your motive. When Arjuna stood on the battlefield, he wanted to escape. He said, I shall not fight. But Krishna did not tell him to run away. Instead, he said, perform your duty, Arjun, but surrender the fruits of your actions to me. That is Gita, chapter number 2, verse number 47. True surrender is not passive, it is dynamic, alert, and fearless. You keep acting, but now with peace in your heart, for you know the results belong to the divine. The student is asking another question. Sometimes my mind is filled with doubt and fear. I try to meditate, but thoughts rush in like storms. How can I control my mind? The Guru replies, the restless mind, like a monkey, drunk on desire. Even Arjun asked Krishna, the mind is restless, turbulent, and strong. To control it seems harder than to control the wind. That is in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 6, verse number 34. And what did Krishna reply? By constant practice and detachment, the mind can be controlled. That is in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse number 35. Practice, which is abhyas, means daily discipline. Meditation, prayer, self study, detachment, vairagya means not clinging to thoughts, pleasures, or fears. But remember, even these are not possible without grace. That is why you must seek the divine as your helper, your inner friend, Antaryamin. When you feel weak, call upon him, say, O Lord, this is your battle. I'm your instrument. Then your effort becomes effortless. A student is asking another question. So, the key is to combine my effort with surrender and faith. The Guru replies, yes, think of a bird. It needs two wings to fly. One wing is effort, the other is surrender. If you flap only one, you will go in circles. When effort and surrender move together, you soar toward freedom. A student is asking another question. What happens when one truly surrenders to the Supreme? The Guru replies, when surrender is total, all agitation ceases. The mind becomes like a still lake, reflecting the sunlight of the soul. Pride melts, fear vanishes, and love blossoms. Such a person walks in the world yet remains untouched by it, like a lotus in water. They act without attachment, speak without arrogance, and live without fear. That is the power of surrender. It transforms the storm into serenity, the struggle into song. The student is asking another question. Then, how shall I begin? The Guru replies, begin where you are. Each morning, offer your day to the divine. Each night, place your worries at his feet. When pride arises, remember I am not the doer, he alone acts through me. Make this your mantra, thy will be done. Do your best, but let go of the rest. In time, faith will deepen, the ego will soften, and grace will guide you across every charm and torrent. Now we come to the closing message for you. The spiritual journey is not a race of personal strength. It is a sacred dance between the human effort and divine compassion. When the clouds of agitation hide your inner light, do not despair. Keep walking, keep praying, keep surrendering. For beyond the clouds, the sun still shines. And in that light, you shall find peace, purpose, and the Supreme. Hari Om.